Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Rogue Deck of the Week. And this is a deck that I've been talking a lot on the podcast about and been really hyped on. But yeah, just want to start here, and I kind of want to just do Typhlosion this week. When this card was released, I was really hyped on it. I think it's a strong single prize deck. It's arguably the strongest single prize deck we have in this format right now. And when it got the promo for the pre-release, I knew I had to get this deck. I knew how to get this together, and I've been really enjoying my time with this. So for those who don't know, Typhlosion is a stage 2 fire type Pokemon, and it's actually called Ethan's Typhlosion, which is very important because there's a Typhlosion and Ethan's Typhlosion, and we can only evolve from Ethan's Quilava. So 170 HP fire type Pokemon, has 2 attacks. Second one is Steam Artillery, 160 for fire colorless. To be honest, we never use this attack. As you'll see through the deck, we kind of really can't afford to. So the attack that we mainly concentrate around is the Buddy Blast. So it does 40 plus, and this attack does 60 more damage for each Ethan's Adventure card in our discard pile. And this is a new supporter coming out from Destined Rivals, and this is a great engine for this deck, not only to power up the Buddy Blast attack, but the card itself is actually a pretty good supporter. So Ethan's Adventure is, like I said, a supporter card. Search your deck for up to 3 in any combination of Ethan's Pokemon and basic fire energy, reveal them, put them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So this is a great setup card in turn 1, 2, and 3. You can play this, grab your pieces that you need, either the Ethan Cyndaquil, Quilava, Typhlosion, get your basic energy that you need to attack, and then it goes in your discard, and it's a great way to power up your attack and get your board set up. So as I mentioned, we play a 4-4-4 line, so we're very heavy on this Ethan's Typhlosion line. Originally, when I was doing my playtesting, I was kind of light on the Typhlosion and realized I really needed that for Typhlosion and get it off, because we are a single prize deck. Well, mostly single prize, but I'll get to that in a second. So I am playing with the Drakloak engine with the Recon Directive. Everyone knows what this card does, but for those who don't, once your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put one of them in your hand and the other one in the bottom of your deck. This is a very popular card right now, but it goes really well with the Ethan's Typhlosion, because when you get Iono'd, you can easily search, get your card back up, because you really don't need a lot of pieces once you're set up. The other support Pokemon we have is Shaymin. Shaymin is a new card from Destined Rivals, and it prevents all damage done to your bench Pokemon that don't have a rule box. In our case, that's going to be almost everything. So put this in play. We cannot get Grimmsnarled at all. They'll do the 180, but they won't be able to do the 30 to our bench, which is actually very important for us. And then I played the Budew in my list. I think this is a great beginner Pokemon. Has the free retreat. You can item lock your opponent while you get set up and kind of disrupt their ability to set up. The last support Pokemon I put in here is the Victini with the Victory Cheer ability. Attacks used by your evolution Pokemon do 10 more damage. This actually does matter. Sometimes you need to get to the 280 or the 230. This actually really matters with the Joltik box matchup, where if you get 3 Ethan's Adventures in your discard, play a Victini on your bench, and then you can one-shot their Iron Hands and try to get the 2 prize knockout while they're still trying to figure out how to get their own 2 prize, because they can't amp you with their Iron Hands on the Typhlosion. They'll have to get something else. So if they're bossing up or countering up not your attacker, you're still in a good position, at least in my opinion. So earlier I did mention that we're mostly a single prize deck. And I say mostly because I do play one of the Dragapult EX. We're already playing the Drakloaks, so I figured one of the Dragapult isn't that big of a deal. Phantom Dive is a great attack, doing 200 and then 6 damage counters to your opponent's bench any way you like. Really, if you're just whiffing on those attacks with the Typhlosion and you're just off by like a couple damage counters, this can kind of clean up and get multiple prizes. If anything, this is a great tanky Pokemon to help you get your board reestablished if you are in that position. So those are the Pokemon lineup. For item cards, I play Buddy-Buddy Poffin. All your Pokemon are 70 HP or less, at least in the beginning, so this is a no-brainer. I do play Counter Catcher because sometimes you are playing from behind, so instead of using a boss, you can use an item card to get the targets you need to knock out. Play 1 Earthen Vessel. I play 2 Night Stretcher to get the pieces that you are needing, whether it be your Pokemon or the energy. 2 Rare Candies. You don't really want to evolve into your stage 2s unless you absolutely have to, so having 2 of these give you a great option to do that. Worst case scenario, it is great Ultra Ball fodder, so we play 3 Ultra Ball. No Nest Ball in this list, but you don't really need it with the Buddy Poffin and just the initial draw you have in this deck. I do play 1 Redeemable Ticket, just because if you prize that Ethan's Adventure, it can really mess up your math for your attacking. So if you can get all your Ethan's Adventure out that are in your deck and then play the Redeemable Ticket, you guarantee to have the other one in your deck, and then you can use the Quilava's attack or ability, which we actually didn't go into. So Bounded by the Journey, we can grab an Ethan's Adventure card. So you have multiple of these, you can get multiple in your hand. So we can pair that with the Redeemable Ticket. I think that will help us get what we need to do our attack. For Stadium Choice, I put Artazon. We are all basic Pokemon. I feel like Artazon is the best option for this deck. I was fooling around with Gravity Mountain, however it does impact our Dragapult EX and our Typhlosion, and ultimately I felt like it was just too much of a negative than a positive. The Artazon, yes, I'm giving that to my opponent, but getting our board set up is more important than trying to get those knockouts, because we are a single prize. We can go with 2-shotting and it won't really impact us. For supporters, 3 Arven, because as you'll see in a little bit, we are going to be kind of heavy on the tools. 1 boss, I only put 1 in here because we do have the 2 counter catchers. 4 Ethans, this is what the whole deck is around. And I play a single Iono just for the hand and disruption. And for the tools, I have 1 experience share or EXP share. This is to help set up the Dragapult EX in the late game if we have to. 1 rescue board, that way we can easily pivot with our Pokemon if we need to. 1 technical machine evolution to evolve into our Quilavas or even our Typhlosions and Drakloaks on our first turn. And I'm playing with 2 Vengeful Punches. This is a very interesting ad that I've been really liking. My game plan in this deck is turn 1, I want to try to get the Budew out, put the Vengeful Punch, you're doing 10, they knock you out, you put 4 damage counters, so you're finding a way to get 5 damage counters on board, which will help with your attacks later on. And you can always put this on your Typhlosion, you can put this really on any Pokemon, and it will just help soften up hits later down on the road. And then for a spec of choice, I've actually been liking the Max Rod. I know this deck is known to play Secret Box, it's been known to play Prime Catcher. Both are good, but I've never really had an issue with getting my Ethans into my discard. And then the Max Rod helps us get our Pokemon and basic energy that we need to get going in the late game. So this is something that is a unique ad that I've been experimenting with, and I've been having a lot of fun with this. So I kind of want to be a little unique. As you know, I don't like playing the standard stuff, and Max Rod does do the trick. For energy, I play 2 Psychic because you want to try to attack with the Dragapult EX if you can. If anything, you can always attack with the Drakloak if you're in a bind. and then 5 fire energy. Seems a little low, reminds me of the Charizard EX deck, but when all your attacks only cost 1 energy, as we go up here with the Earthen Typhlosion, we're only really doing that Buddy Blast. So you only need 1 energy attachment per turn, so even if you whiff on your energy attachment, you're not going to be behind compared to other decks. And with having the Max Rod and the Night Stretcher, I feel like you can go a little lower on your energy count because you have ways to get those energy back into your hand. So that is the breakdown of the Earthen Typhlosion deck. As you saw, I have another version with the Zard. I've been seeing that do well in online tournaments. However, I do like the more single prize version better. So this is the one I'm going to be playing on the ladder. So let's hop over and see how we do against other people. Okay everyone, we're heading into our first game with the Typhlosion deck. Or really, Earthen's Typhlosion. Should be calling it by its proper name. So we lost the coin flip. So we'll see if we go ahead first or second. This deck can go either way because we do play the TM Evolution. Going second wouldn't be bad. So we will go first, so we'll give us another turn to set up. Let's see what our opening hand is. So we will have to do a mulligan. So they'll see that we're playing Typhlosion, giving them a heads up on our strategy here. So obviously they're not going to fall for a donk, which we don't do anyway. So this is a interesting hand. I wish we had a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. It will put us in a little better of a situation here. So we're going against Dragapult, so we have some time to set up. Unfortunately, we just have to draw a pass. So they can't really knock us out. So that's good. We'll get a Quilava in play. We'll get Arven, Buddy-Buddy, and set up our board. And they didn't really do much either. So this is good for us. So we will evolve, attach, and we'll play Arven for now. We'll grab a Buddy-Buddy and half tempted to get the TM Evolution here. It'll be nice to get damage on him, but we don't really want that because Monkey Dory can just get that off. So we'll get 2 Cyndaquils out. Maybe should have got the Budew, and we could have retreated and attack. But we got this line of play, so let's just take advantage of it. Kind of don't want to do Bonded by the Journey because we already have 2 Earthens in hand. I'll do it to get it out. So we have all 4 in decks. So we don't really need Redeemable Ticket this turn or for this game. So what we'll evolve, get our Quilavas out. So the very minimum, we can attack with a Typhlosion next turn using Earthen's Adventure. It would be nice to get maybe a Ultra Ball, so we can get really knock out all these Earthen's Adventures from our hand. So that would be really good. Or we can just use one hit, because we will still do 100 if we hit with it. So we won't be able to take out the Monkey Dory, but if they promote something on the bench, we can take advantage of that. So with playing this type of deck, this is a very slow, grindy deck. We're not taking KOs, we're not aggressive at all. So they're going for the TM Evolution themselves. So they're setting up just like we were. So I was really thinking about bringing this deck to NEIC, because as the time this video will come out, I will probably be in the middle of playing at that tournament. Unfortunately, I decided to go another direction, but I really do like this card. I love this deck. I think it gets better with the black-white set that's coming out in the fall, or really the summer. So what we can do is we'll play Ethan's Typhlosion. We'll put an energy on the bench Quilava. And what I'm going to do is I am going to Ultra Ball and play Vengeful Punch. Because I'm not really worried about the EXP share right now, because we don't have a Dragapult lined up. Even though I probably should have got that with doing this line of play. So I'll get a Dreepy. It can't get one-shotted by that Dragapult, so that's good. Get that set up. I want to attach Vengeful Punch here. Yeah, and I'm just going to attack, get the first KO of the game. I was thinking about getting the Victini out instead of the Dreepy. But right now, we don't really need that damage modifier, because going from 160 to 170 isn't doing much right now. Because we'll still be two-shotting the Dragapult. If we get even to 290, we're still two-shotting. I'm hoping that the Vengeful Punch really helps with our math. Because when we're knocked out, it puts 4 damage counters on there. So that will actually help us out once we get all the Ethan's Adventure on there with another Typhlosion. So the Vengeful Punch is really what's setting up our math, and not the Victini for this matchup. Because if we do 280 plus that 4 damage, that's 320 exactly. But the Victini does help. Any damage modifier is great, so we'll take what we can, but right now it's not needed. We can keep it in the deck. Not playing the Shaymin, because Shaymin doesn't block damage counters, it only blocks damage. So if we're going against like Grimmsnarl, that would have been great for this, but for damage counters, we really need to play the Rapska, which we don't do. So their game set up. Their draw power is really the Xatu and not the Drakloaks, like we'd see in modern Dragapult decks. So we'll see what they do. So it looks like they'll have a pivot option here. Not gonna lie, y'all, this is gonna be tough. This is why I didn't want to take Typhlosion to NEIC, because Dragapult is gonna be something I will see a lot. And I just don't know if we're winning the prize battle with this. Luckily, I have 2 Ethan's Adventure in the discard. I can get another one. If we can get an Ultra Ball, I can get all 4 this turn. So we're not out of the woods. I could one-shot this and try and get them to get the Psychic Energy. However, that's not really hard to do with this deck. So we'll grab the other Ethan's Adventure. We'll put down another Dreepy. That way we have something going on. I'm gonna play Ethan's Adventure. Get this going. We don't have another Cyndaquil in deck. So because of that, I'm going to get another one, so that way we can start chaining our Pokemon. So I'm going to keep this one in hand, that way we can keep it and evolve. I don't want to have too much going. So we'll just hit, we'll get this to 290, or sorry, 260. Still 60 short. If we would have gotten a way to get all 4 in there, we would have got the knockout. But right now, they don't have the Monkey Dory on board to move damage over. So by the time they get 4, we will get up to 3 because we did take the first prize for this match. So we'll still be ahead in prizes. So, like I said, this is a slow game that we're making our opponent take 6 prize cards, while we're only taking 2 to 4 knockouts versus them taking 6. So ideally we can win that way. So they're just trying to set up their board. We'll two-shot that. They'll get a knockout, but we actually have a decent hand to get going. A card I kind of wanted to include in this deck was Serendipity. A lot of decks do play it that are running the Ethan's Typhlosion. However, I just wanted to try to keep our single prizer to a maximum. So that's why I only wanted to do 1 multi-prize Pokemon in the list, and I chose to go for the Dragapult EX. But I can see an argument for just hitting with the Typhlosion and using the Fez just to draw. But that's also an easy target, especially against a deck like Dragapult, Raging Bolt, any card like that, Grimmsnarl, easy targets. Versus I can choose one to play the Dragapult EX and make them keep the single prize board state. So they did get a Dark Energy on the Monkey, so they're going to move damage on. So it will probably fix up a math on either our Dreepy or Cyndaquil. They'll probably go for the Cyndaquil to be honest. That way they can knock that out. But going into our next turn, we will knock this out and not have any, they won't have any damage to use Monkey Dory. So there's that at the very least. But yeah, we're making them think which is the way. So they're actually going with the Dreepy, which I'm very surprised about. Because we have another one for the Drakloak to churn through our deck if we can get fortunate enough to do that. We're still one-shotting that we're going to knock out that Dragapult no matter what, because that's at a very low HP. So they're taking 2 prizes, so we're going to tie it up with this knockout. But as of right now, they are ahead. So this is putting us in a difficult spot here. So with Psychic Energy, 90, okay. Kind of wish we had, how many do we have? 3, we have the 4th one. Haven't been Iono, so there's really no need to really search. Use Bounded by the thing. I'm going to evolve. I'll use Ethan's Venture, just get them all out there. Get our hand pretty ready for next turn here. And we're just going to use 280. Knock that out, get 2 prizes, tie up the prize trade. So, something to really think about when you play this deck in real life versus playing in live. Right now, live has not fixed the glitch. Because as you can tell, I have all 4 Ethan's Adventure in my discard. So if you play this in real life, if you have all 4 in the discard, that is public knowledge. And you cannot use Bounded by the Journey's ability because there's no target to search through in your deck. However, in live, it lets you do that, so that is not a correct one-to-one to IRL play. I really encourage you all, if you are playing this IRL, please use the real life rules. If you know you have 4 Ethan's Adventure, just don't even try doing Bounded by the Journey's ability. You can't do that in real life, and if you do, your opponent will call judge because you are looking through your deck illegally. So just wanted to put that PSA out there. Live isn't always right. There are some things that are not right according to the rule book. So when you play any deck, make sure you know the mechanics well and you know the rules properly. So just wanted to put that out there. So we got Iono. Dragapult is going to attack us. Good thing is they're not going to knock out our bench, so we're still okay. We have to try to get our Typhlosion. We have one more in hand. If we can try to get a Max Rod, that will really help us out here. I know it's in the deck. I saw it in the deck. So we're going to evolve. We have a Drakloak. I'm going to play the Victini just because I'm going to use Arden. I'll search through, shuffle up my deck. So I could slow them down a little bit by doing Budew. Sorry if y'all heard that. It is actually raining pretty bad at the time of this recording. So we do have Max Rod in here, so I want to try to get that. And I'm just going to fail the search. I don't want to give any easy options. So we'll play Recon Directive. And there we go, Max Rod. That is exactly what we needed. That's why I have this in the deck. It will give us all the pieces that we're missing right now. So we'll get an energy, we'll get 2 energies, we'll get a Typhlosion, get a Cyndaquil, and we will get another Quilava. I want to try to get the pieces I need to play on. Bench to Quilava. We will evolve to Ethan's Typhlosion here. We'll put energy on the Typhlosion. I'm going to put... I'll hold on to the rescue board, but yeah. So hitting for 290, not really meaningful. We're still two-shotting regardless here. We're forcing them to take 2 prize cards, which they probably can if they do it right. But showing that max rod where it looked like we were pretty out of it, to where at least we had a decent board state here. Assuming our opponent couldn't get 2 prizes next turn. But I like Typhlosion. We're making them attack us. Just that Monkey Dory is annoying. So I can kind of see the writing on the wall here. I'll let my opponent do what they need to do. They're going to take out the Typhlosion and the Drakloak. Good for them. We'll take this L. But at least we got set up. And you saw what Typhlosion can do. So we'll go into the next game and see if we can get the win with this deck. So we'll wait for them to get their prizes. Yeah, that's game. So yeah, we'll go into the next game and see if we can get the L or the W. Okay, y'all, we're heading into our next game here with Ethan's Typhlosion. We win the coin flip, so we're gonna go first. Hopefully we have a better start than we did with the last game. But going first is generally good. Yeah, we have 2 Buddy Poffin, Cyndaquil, Victini. This is actually a very good hand. So we'll see what our opponent plays. I wonder if they're playing the Team Rocket deck because they have a lot of Rocket stuff here. So we'll see what they're playing. So, okay, I haven't seen this one before. This is definitely new. So they're playing the Team Rocket's Golbat and Crobat, which puts damage counters on. So we need to be careful with that. So we'll get our Cyndaquils out. We'll get a Dreepy. We have another Dreepy. I'm not going to do the Budew just because I know they can put damage counters and that's easy bait for them. So we have Ethan's Venture for next turn to get set up here. And I am just going to pass. But we have a pretty good board with the Dreepy and Earthen Cyndaquil. Honestly, if we can attack next turn, great. So the Wobbuffet can be good and can be bad for us. If we leave damage on board, they can just use Wobbuffet's ability to move all that to our side. So they're just going to poison us. Once we evolve, that poison will go away. So we'll do Ethan's Adventure. Get a couple Quilavas here. And we will grab a Fire Energy. I probably should have checked what else was in my deck. That is on me. But we can do that again by using Bounded by the Journey. So we have 2 once. We have 1 in the prizes. We have all our Draklooks. We have Dragapult. We have all our Ethan pieces. We have 2 Arvens. We got our good amount of supporters with both our rare candies. We have our max raw. We have our ticket. That's going to be important here. So we got all the pieces we need. I'm not too worried about anything missing here. So we'll grab the Ethan. We have 2. We used 1. I will evolve. And tempted to attack, but I'm not sure if that damage will matter. Because I'm not sure if what their attack is like. I don't know how this game plays. I'm going to. The 40 doesn't do anything. So we'll see what they do next turn. They'll probably evolve to the Golbat, put damage counters on our board. I know that much. Tails, so then we'll get a Pokemon. And we just get the win. I guess they didn't have anything in their hand, but you can see how easy our deck can set up. Kind of wish I could see what this Team Rocket's Crowback deck is like. I haven't really seen it in real life. But maybe next time. But we got the dub, we got the win. But yeah, you can tell once we get our board going, we're pretty much in the driver's seat unless we get stopped somehow. So I'm glad that this was very good for us. So we'll go into the next game and see if we can actually attack and get prizes with this deck. Okay, we're into the next game here. We'll see how the Ethan's Typhlosion deals up on this ladder today. But I'm having a fun time with this deck, as I mentioned before. This is a fun deck. That Great Bangle, Silver Bangle card, whatever they're going to call it, once we get the English translation. When that gets released, I think this deck will be significantly better. And that's saying much, because this is a pretty powerful deck already. So we're going second. I want to play the Budew and the Cyndaquil, just in case we get donked. But I want to have the Budew out already. To Team Rocket's Mewtwo. Okay, this is a fun matchup because we can hit the 280, and we can do that fairly quick. So they're not going to attack us, but we can slow them down with Itchy Pollen. So I'm glad we started with the Budew. But yeah, we have Buddy-Buddy Poffin. That card doesn't do. Oh. I was thinking it was the Watchtower. It's not. It's the draw card. But since we're only going to be limiting them next turn to just supporters, they may not be able to have anything to really draw into. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, this deck is pretty fun to play against, to play with. I'm interested to see how this will do at NAIC. A lot of people are not talking highly of this deck because it is just missing something. They have all the pieces, but we can't find the way to really make it work fully. Can't remember if you play Ariana on your first turn or not. I know there's a card where you can play it if you go first. I can't remember if it's Ariana. So if he plays it, then okay, so it's not. It's another Team Rocket supporter card. Okay. So we're going to play Buddy Poffin, we'll get another Cyndaquil, and we'll get a Dreepy out. I'm going to put a Vengeful Punch on the Budew. I'm going to play Ethan's Adventure for turn. Get another Cyndaquil, Quilava, and a Fire Energy. Just kind of get set up for next turn here. I'm going to attach to the Dreepy because they're not taking prizes from the bench, so we're in a pretty decent spot for that. So I'm just going to Itchy Pollen, put 10 damage counter on them, and just make them not use items. We know they have the Ariana, so I think that's a draw support if I'm not mistaken. We'll see what they do. Yeah, so they drew a lot, but if they have nothing but items, that doesn't help them. And they already played their supporter for turn. So they're looking for that Team Rocket's energy so they can attack. Granted, yeah, so they don't need to discard energy just yet. Yeah, so they whiff. So we're kind of we're in the driver's seat right now. So we will evolve up. We'll grab Ethan's. So we have all 4 in the deck. I didn't really search that earlier. But I'm in no rush to really get my Typhlosion out. So we will just get something set up here. I'm gonna discard the Ethans, and I'm gonna get a Drakloak out. Use Recon Directive, see if I can get I will get an Ultra Ball for next turn. Not really needing a Rare Candy. And we'll just Itchy Pollen. Slowly build up that damage. Even though we can hit that 280 easily. But if they play a Bravery Charm, this damage can be beneficial for us. If they attack into the Budew, they'll go up to 60. So, kind of just putting the pressure. Even if they're taking a single prize off the Budew, we will be taking the double prize on the Mewtwo. And then forcing them to restart everything. But the Spidops is an attacker in this deck, so that's something to watch out for. So we will get the Quilava. We already have 3 Ethans in our discard. I want to put the EXP share on the Drakloak. We're going to use Bounded by the Journey. And we're going to grab our last Ethans. And before I use that, I want to see what I can get with Recon Directive. Just fire or fire. So easy choice there for us. So I will Ethans, and I'll grab a couple Typhlosions, and I'll grab another. Yeah, we got Fire Energy in our hand. So we'll grab that. We will evolve that. Evolve that. I'm going to keep the Typhlosion in hand just in case we get knocked out. But I will start setting up my Pokemon. So we're hitting 280. We're in a very good spot here. Actually, I'll evolve. I want to keep this safe just in case. And we'll just get the Buddy Blast. We're not item locking them, but they have to try to get 3 energy on the Mewtwo to really do their big damage. Spot ups can attack, but we're already ahead in the prize trade here. Because us getting the two prizes is very crucial. This deck, the Mewtwo deck, can play as a single prizer. That is something it can do. But their attack is also based on how many Team Rocket's Pokemon are in play. So right now they're only doing 90 damage. They're doing 120 damage, 150 damage. So they need another one to knock me out. So if they don't get another one, then we're still surviving. We're taking the one shot. If we can get a boss, we can one shot their Mewtwo EX. And even if they take out the Typhlosion, we'll still get ahead in the prize race. So this is a very good matchup for us. So they do have energy in the discard, so they are accelerating, so they're getting ready for next turn. But if they don't have that last spot filled with Team Rocket's Pokemon, they're not getting this knockout. So they're getting something that they can't knock out with the Drakloak, which I don't blame them. So they get the knockout, but I'm not mad about that. Yes, it's our draw support, but we can try and figure out something else. So we'll get our Typhlosion into play here. We'll put down the Dreepy. We have the Rare Candy. We do have another Psychic Energy, so we could use that if we want. This is where I wish we had the Pheasantipity, because then I can try to search for a boss to get this Mewtwo in play. But they didn't attach energy to it, so it tells me that that's not going to attack next turn. So we are hitting for 560. We don't really need anything else right now. I do want to bump that stadium. See if we can get anything on our bench. Yeah, might as well. It doesn't really. It can help us a little bit, but not. We already are fully powered up. And yeah, we'll just Buddy Blast, get the knockout, and get ahead in the prize race. Let's get another Cyndaquil here. So that Team Rocket's Mimikyu is not attacking. It can only copy Terra Pokemon, and we do not play any Terra other than the Dragapult EX. And at this point, we're not going to put that in play. It wouldn't be smart for us. We really just want the Dreepy for a draw. However, we do have the option, so if we can get 2 easy KOs, we can do that as an option. But Typhlosion is doing its thing. It's doing great. This is a very good matchup. I'm wondering if they are running out energy. Because they play a counter game, which they are behind in prizes, so if they get a Team Rocket energy, they can attack. But they're drawing like crazy, so it's to me, this is saying that they don't have it. So the Secret Box, that will give them, will that give them a way to get energy? I don't know. They already played their supporter, so they can grab a supporter, but they already have it. They're discarding their Fez because they know that's an easy 2-prizer for us. So they want to try and keep the board as a single prize as possible. I'm trying to think what they will get with the Secret Box. They're probably another Stadium for sure. I don't know what supporter, because I'm not that familiar with the Team Rocket supporters yet. So no, Ariana, Defiance Band. Okay, so they're finding a way to knock us out. That's getting probably an energy, if I would guess. That way they can attack. No, it did not. It gave them a Pokemon. Okay, so do they have the energy to attack? So they manually attach there. Can you power this up when it's on? Yeah, you can. So it just needs to use the ability to... Yep. So it's going to knock us out. Tie in the prize race. But I will say, if we can get a boss, that will be great. So how many Typhlosions do we have in discard? Just 1. So we'll grab this dude right here. We have a way to get another Typhlosion with the Ultra Ball. We have a Arven. Get Cyndaquil. I'm gonna play the... Or do I want to try to get the boss and try and just get that? I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna try to go for boss here. It's a long shot, but we have the Arven if we need to. Counter catcher, which I'm not really needing. So we will evolve here. I'm just going to keep the Arven. We don't really need it right now. We'll just get the Spite Ups. They're going to attack with the Mewtwo next turn. So we can use the Arven to get... Well, we can do Arven for Earthen Vessel and get the last energy, or Arven for Max Rod. Honestly, if they attack with the Mewtwo, we have game. We have a way on board to get what we need. Articuno's another cool card, just doesn't do anything with our matchup. We are in a very good spot here. They're just trying to do single prize attacking. They're trying to prolong this as much as possible. But we played the Max Rod, which kind of helps us out a lot with this, in this board state. We can get the missing pieces, because once that Typhlosion gets out, there'll be 2 Typhlosions there. We can get the Max Rod. I know it's in the deck. That doesn't do anything for us. We cannot one-shot any of these Pokemon, so not too concerned here. I just actually need to look at energy. So we have 2, 3 energy, but if we get the Max Rod, we can get the energy, so I'm not too worried about that either. So we'll see if they decide to attack with the Spite Ups. They're going through a lot of their deck right now. They're churning through. They're hoping that we don't have the setup, but that's why I saved the Arven. I want to make sure we what we need going forward. I didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves to just top decking. So I do have a lot of resources left. So they're getting the prize. See where top deck is. Artazon. I'm going to play that just to bump their stadium here. We'll play Recon Directive. See what we can get. This is the difficult choice here. I want to play boss, but I have no energy. But I'm going to grab it just so I have it, because they don't know what we grab. So I'm going to play Arven. I'm going to grab Max Rod. And I'm going to grab Vengeful Punch. I don't really need it, but it'll be cute to have. So we'll Max Rod, use our A-Spec for the game. We'll grab a couple energy here. We'll grab a Typhlosion back. We'll grab a Quilava back. And we'll grab a Cyndaquil. Yeah, we'll grab those pieces. Evolve up, that way we have options for Typhlosion. We will attack that. We will put Vengeful Punch here. And we will Buddy Blast. Go down the 1. They have no way of getting 2 prizes here. We kind of, hopefully, we are in a good spot of getting the game. We get another Typhlosion. So we just need to see what they do. We can knock out anything they have in play, no matter what. We took out another draw. So unless they get another stadium, which they have used only 2 stadiums. Okay. So they have a high likelihood of having another one in their hand, especially since they went through a lot of their deck already. But even they need to get another Pokemon to even one-shot us. So we'll see what they can do. We have a pretty good checkmate situation here. We have the Typhlosions. I don't think they play Iono. These Team Rockets deck tend not to do Iono. But if they do, we have a good chance of trying to get the energy back so we can attack, assuming they knock us out. They're thinking, yeah, so they know we got it. So we'll just attack, get the last prize. I could have gone for the cheeky play on the Mewtwo, but there's no need. We got what we needed and we got the game. So as you can tell, when this deck sets up, it's really powerful. I love the Max Rod in this deck, and that play when we used it shows it. So yeah, thank you for joining me with this, and yeah, this is a very fun deck. I'm excited that this came out, so yeah, really glad we got the dub. Okay everyone, that was the showcase featuring Ethan's Typhlosion. It does have some pretty tough matches. Stage 2 decks are really hard for this to compete with. The high HP of the Stage 2 EXs is just too much unless you play other ways around that. Max Spelt is an option for your ace spec if you want to go that route. You can play Defiance Band to help get more on your attack if you're behind prizes. Gravity Mountain is a decent stadium choice for this deck as well, but you also decrease your HP as well. So that's why I tried it out. I didn't like it, but this is a fun deck. As you saw, once we get set up, we are a powerhouse. By turn 2 or 3, you're easily doing 280. If you have that Victini in play, you're doing 290. For most decks, they can't go around that. I like the draw support of the Drakloak a lot. I know alternative decks are playing Pidgeot. I just don't like the 2 prize liability. And then the Dunsparce, or the Dunsparce, it's just with Watchtower out there, it can slow that down as well. Max Rod, again, you can use Secret Box, you can use Max Belt. But I like the Max Rod in here. It helps you get the pieces you need in the very late game, such as your energy and your Pokemon, versus putting them back into your deck. And once you use all your Ethan's Adventure, it's really hard to get those cards back because you only play so many Pokemon Search, so many Energy Search, because you only play 1 Earthen Vessel. So unless you draw into your energy, I really like this edition. It is unique. People don't see it. They're expecting the Secret Box. I'm not missing the Secret Box. As you saw in my games, getting the Ethan's Adventure into the discard isn't hard at all, and that was the point of the Secret Box. I think using your energy recovery is a lot better for this deck. But yeah, just let me know what y'all's thoughts on the Typhlosion, where you think it is in the meta. I would say right now it is a very stable road deck. It's powerful. I love playing this. I don't know if I can see it doing well at NEIC. Definitely a couple will probably make day 2. But above that, I don't know. I guess we'll see this weekend. But I am really happy about this deck, and I can't wait to play it more and more in my local league. Yeah, thank you for watching this week's video. Like and subscribe. We are on our journey to 100 subscribers. That will mean the world to us, and once we hit that goal, we will do a special live stream of the Rogue Deck Tournament of Champions. We'll pick a couple, probably about 6 Rogue decks that we have featured on this channel, and we'll just play against them, me and my buddies, and see which one is the king of the rogues. But yeah, so please like, subscribe, tell your friends about this, and thank you for watching, and as always, have fun playing those sneaky decks.